Welcome to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Robin Johnson, and I can't wait to chat with you about one of the most exciting topics ever. Kitchen design, right? I mean, who doesn't dream of remodeling their kitchen? Friends, if you're looking to up-level the most important room in your home, I am so glad you're here. As an award-winning designer of over 20 years, kitchens are my absolute favorite room in the house. Join me to discover the latest design trends, color palettes, and what you should know when it comes to choosing a layout, cabinetry, appliances, and so much more. With hundreds of decisions to be made and thousands of dollars on the line, you won't want to miss an episode. Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome back to the show. I hope you had a wonderful holiday and were able to spend quality time with the people you love most. I know my holiday season was a full-on whirlwind. There was gift wrapping with my absolute favorite wrapping paper ever from Charleston Wraps, which I'm giving a little plug because it's sold by students to raise money for local schools. If you're ever looking for an easy school fundraiser in your community, definitely check them out. The paper is thick, double-sided, has the best patterns, and they even offer customizable options. Okay, then there were the Christmas parties, lots of cooking, and one of my favorite holiday traditions, cookie decorating with my 16-year-old daughter. So yes, fun, festive, and slightly exhausting. And I'll admit, I was a little bit ready today to get back into my work routine. It feels good. Designing projects again and mapping out podcast topics for this year. So, I've already outlined what I'm going to be covering throughout 2026, and while I'm sure it'll evolve and be tweaked some, it felt right to kick off the year with the newly released NKBA Design and Trends Report. NKBA polls design firms and industry experts from across the country to create this incredibly comprehensive research. And this year's report is 114 pages long. So I obviously kind of skimmed through that. There was a lot of data, percentages, charts, and predictions. But what stood out to me the most was really not the materials. It was why people are remodeling and how differently each generation uh, makes decisions and selections based on what they need out of their kitchen. So instead of starting with cabinet colors and countertops, we're going to flip the script today and start with people because that is where great kitchen design always begins. So, first of all, why generations matter more than style. This is really important. And this was a powerful takeaway that I took from the research. So, Generation Z, which are those of you out there listening in your 20s, Gen Zers, you're motivated by updating outdated styles. You're into sustainability, smart technology, and health and wellness. Now, while I haven't worked with many Gen Z homeowners yet, most are still getting on their feet, but the research shows that the ones who do remodel are perfectly fine having smaller kitchens as long as they feel current, eco-conscious, and intentional. They care less about square footage and more about aligning design with their core values. And you're going to expect to find natural materials, simplicity, and purpose-driven spaces here more than anything else. Okay, then we have the millennials, and these are people who are in their 30 to 45 year age range. And this group is often in their primary earning and family years, whether they have toddlers, teens, college kids, or no kids at all. These are my people because millennials need kitchens that work hard. They're all about function, storage, and durability. Millennials need large pantries and creative storage and appliance garages and, well, anything that can save them time during chaotic mornings and busy weeknight meals. These are the clients who say, I need a functional layout for a family of five and two large dogs. The materials, well, they need to be bulletproof and beautiful. And everything needs to be easy to clean. And yes, I want the largest island humanly possible. And honestly, after raising my own family, I totally get it. Okay, then moving on to Gen Xers. These guys roughly age 45 to 60, and well, yours truly is a Gen Xer. This would be me. So I grew up in the 80s and I wouldn't change it for the world. And if you're a Gen X and you still haven't watched Stranger Things on Netflix, I truly don't know what you're waiting for. You gotta watch it. Gen X homeowners, you are my people as well, and you're incredibly fun to design for. Gen Xers are more design savvy, very tech aware, ready to invest in those high-end natural finishes, and they are frequent entertainers. And these kitchens often include custom hoods, integrated paneled appliances, premium high-end lighting, and flexible serving zones. Many Gen X clients want a walk in pantry or scullery filled with backup appliances, plus an island with plenty of seating. And these are the clients who say, well, everyone ends up in my kitchen. I just want it to feel gorgeous and easy. So, love my Gen Xers. Okay, then we have the boomers and moving on to even the silent generation. So boomers are going to be 60 to maybe, 78, and then the silent generation, 78 and beyond. And I still actually do a number of projects for boomers. They are still design savvy and they want all the things. But as this generation ages, this group can also focus on ease of use, aging in place, safety without sacrificing beauty and wellness. And this is where the term universal design, you may have heard of, it really shines. Universal design encompasses things like wider walkways in case you have wheelchairs down the road, fewer upper cabinets, better lighting, all done beautifully and not clinically. Appliances and pulls need to be easy to use and comfortable. And there needs to be a thoughtful layout. It should all be part of a well-designed kitchen that supports long-term living. So that kind of covers the whole range of generations and typically what they're going to be looking for in their kitchen design. And now we're going to move on to the next portion of this podcast, which is going to encompass some of the trend predictions that NKBA research has shared. And I do want you to keep in mind that trends are simply common design choices at a moment in time. They are a guide and not a rule book. I was just watching Shay McGee on Instagram talking about 2026 trends, and she was like, my goal is not to have one. And I completely agree. The most beautiful homes are the ones that are personal. They feel personal, they're original, and they're really tailored to the people living there. So keep that in mind as we talk about what's predicted to stay strong this year. Okay, let's start with cabinetry. Here's what the data shows. White oak is the most popular wood finish. Walnut is growing quickly. Flat panel door styles and modern European doors are leading the way, and floor to ceiling cabinetry is really becoming standard. And then two-toned kitchens are preferred over just one solid color. So mixing it up, making it feel inviting, warm, maybe more furniture-like, all part of a growing trend. This is about warmth and simplicity and ending visual clutter while maximizing storage. So that's where cabinetry is headed. Countertops are softer and calmer. They're kind of stepping back from being the star of the show. We're still seeing quartz and quartzite remaining strong, and honed and matte finishes are being predicted to be requested more than polished finishes this year, which is really interesting. Countertops are typically going to be lighter than cabinets, and traditional and waterfall edges will remain dominant. And a waterfall edge, remember, it just kind of spills over the countertop and goes down the sides all the way to the floor. So the countertop is becoming a supporting player and calming the space instead of competing with it. And on islands, the choice whether or not to match or contrast the countertop, homeowners are about perfectly split on that, with half wanting the island to contrast and half keeping it the same. There's no right or wrong, it's just what works for your kitchen. If you're thinking of remodeling in 2026, you have to get on the wait list to fast track and organize your project like a pro. My Kitchen Remodel Made Easy course is your guide to save time, money, avoid costly mistakes, and take your kitchen design to the next level. If you can't afford to hire a designer, you cannot afford to not buy this course. For less than the price of your new kitchen sink, it's only available a few times a year. Get on the wait list. Link in show notes below. Backsplashes are also less busy and more continuous. So the trend is to use a slab or solid surface on the backsplash, or a large format tile or extra long subway. So patterns do still exist, but they're more subtle, earthy, and quiet. And I think the main reason for this is that there's fewer grout lines to break up the space. The materials themselves are also easier to clean, and it creates a more seamless look. And then flooring trends, they are all about longevity and designed for real life living with, busy families. And popular choices are engineered wood, luxury vinyl plank, and large format tile. And the color palettes are going to be warm neutrals, lighter woods, and earth tones. And you may notice that traditional hardwood wasn't even on this list. And that's because even in million-dollar homes today, families with kids and pets are really prioritizing durability, and engineered wood and LVP, they really make sense. Okay, and then appliances. So practicality is still winning. Innovation is exciting, and I'm going to be attending the KBIS show, the Kitchen Bath Industry show, um, next month in Orlando, and I can't wait to go and see all the new and exciting things. But the research is still showing that homeowners only want tech if it makes life easier. People still want appliances that are reliable, that are easy to use, they're familiar, and they're also easy to service. Induction cooking is continuing to grow, and stainless steel remains the top finish, and integrated panels are also popular. French door refrigeration with extra drawers are leading the way. So that would be having one main refrigerator and then having additional refrigerator drawers, maybe in your pantry or somewhere else in your kitchen for fresh produce or snacks or drinks or any other specialty storage item that you might need additional space for. Built-in refrigeration is still, and counter depth refrigeration is still the number one request. When it comes to dishwashers, the traditional standard door still dominates, but there are also drawers that can be secondary to those. And then some people are putting in two dishwashers, but that is less common. Metal finishes, well, leading finishes include gold, brass, and copper tones, the most popular, followed up by earthy finishes, and then black, and then last, silver, nickel, and stainless. Matte and brush finishes are just as popular as the shinier ones, and the balance is key. And then let me touch on sinks, the unsung hero of your kitchen. So undermount sinks, of course, still dominate. These are the ones where the flange is hidden under your countertop. Integrated sinks, which are made out of the same material as your countertop, it's all one unit. That is a really growing trend. Stainless steel still remains the top sink material. And large workstation sinks are also in demand and growing. So that would be a sink, maybe starting at 42, 48 inches and getting larger from there. Single bowls, well, are leading the way, while apron front and double bowls continue to decline despite internet debates. And lastly, as for color trends for 2026, well, leading colors are going to be warm neutrals, greens in tones of sage, olive, juniper, and of course, blues all across the board, but mostly soft and deep. And what's fading are cool grays, stark black and white, and high contrast, high patterns, everything. Nature is clearly leading design again, and it pairs beautifully with white oak, soft whites, natural stone, and organic textures. So, as we wrap up this trend episode, here's a big takeaway that I want you to remember that kitchen trends aren't about what's in. They're really more about designing a space that supports your life now and into the future. So think about, which generation do you fall into? What matters most to you in your daily routine? The best kitchens in 2026 are not going to feel trendy. They're going to feel thoughtful, comfortable, easy, and personal. And that's exactly what great design should be. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd love for you to leave a review and share it with a friend who's planning a remodel. They'll thank you. And as always, I'll see you back in 2 weeks on the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. Thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Remodel Made Easy podcast. If you want to continue the conversation or share your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. Head over to my Instagram page at Robin Johnson Interiors and send me a DM. If you're curious how to get started on your own remodeling journey, I have a free resource that you can download called the Kitchen Remodel Starter Kit in the show notes below, or you can head to my website and grab it there on the front page. Friends, if you enjoyed today's podcast and you can't wait to hear more, please leave a raving review to help others find me. And if you didn't, well, don't worry about it. Have a great weekend, and I'll be back soon for more kitchen design conversations.